Hey guys, welcome to Raja Makes Money. How are all my money makers doing today? And hopefully you guys are doing better than me in the market today. Unfortunately, a down day. Once again, we had 2 up days. Now we have a down day. So hopefully maybe we get 2 up days in a row again. But let's get right into it. Obviously, one of our biggest holdings was down a lot today, CCIV. So that definitely played into it heavily. We did buy 40,000 more shares of CCIV. Unfortunately, I thought it was, normally how it goes when it dips. Unfortunately, the entire market dipped a lot today. And as we've stated, or I've told you guys before, when the entire overall market goes down, unfortunately, a lot of the OTCs and some of the higher risk and different stuff like that goes down with it. So unfortunately, a lot of that was down today, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not worried about it. We still have a nice profit for the year, and I'll show you guys. I did some more hedging on CCIV, and I actually may make a pretty large play on CCIV this Friday and move us into something else. Maybe wait one more week to wait this out, but I'm going to do something. I'm not going to sit around and wait forever on it. But we'll go over. Let's look what we did today. So CCIV down $2.86. Luckily enough, after hours it's up, and luckily enough, yesterday after hours we only got filled on like those 2,900 shares. Otherwise, we would have really been down today a lot more. So IDEX was down again today. It was disappointing because in the pre-market and actually on the open today, this one was up nicely. It was up another 12, 15 cents to 377. I thought we were making some progress, but I think with just the overall market sell-off today, it just hit this one also. SVAC is almost $10 now. This one, I still have some hope for it. They're doing a deal, and it's interesting because the thing came out at $10, so hopefully we'll see something. Jaguar, another one, was up this morning and then came down again. Who knows? Just waiting for that SPAC news. This is one maybe I'll buy another 20,000 shares just to bring the average down, and then we only need to get about 320 out of it. NW Biotherapeutics down a little bit. CTYX down a little bit today. Good thing yesterday we took a couple 100,000 shares off. Ali actually up a little bit today, not very much, but we've averaged down on that one a lot. Hopefully we'll see some movement there. Ambio Pharmaceutical down. Pretty much everything was down. This is another one here from the research team, Life Clips. We bought some more to average down. The ones we got today at I think 7.5 cents. So they're up a little bit. So our average isn't too bad on this one. If we, this one we basically need to see this thing at about 0.9, and we're at break even. This thing gets to the penny, we'll make some money on it. And they're calling that this one could be pretty big. So it's cheap. It's not very expensive to be in. So for a long shot, I like it, something to play, on and stuff. Everything else pretty much. This new one from the research team, Largo Resources. We got into that one. It's pretty much where we bought it at 156, 157. They like this one. They're saying this one could be $8, $10. So we'll watch it. Big news on this one. There is supposed to be March 17th or somewhere around there. So we'll watch it for a couple of weeks. If it doesn't do much, we'll just get rid of it. And if it goes to $10, we'll make $70,000, $80,000 on it. So it'll be a pretty good little play. Everything else pretty much flat and stuff. FRX was down today a little bit, so that hurt us. We just need to get this one up. This just needs to go up one day, $1, and we'll be in great shape with it. Let me go over the trades we made today. Let's see today's trades. Show you what we did. CCIV. We had this morning I put a sell order in just in case it was up. It was in pre-market. It was actually up, or it was around 30.50. But I just figured in case it went up a little bit, we'd get out of those 2,900. Then, like I said, it was down, a point. So I thought, maybe it's a good entry point to come in. Got in some shares. Got another 17,000 at 29.50, and then another 20,000 at 28.40. And then I had another buy order at 26.75 after it had touched that, because I was like, if we would have got filled, that would have been a great comeback on that one. That would have made us about 20 grand over plus now, but would not get filled. It never came back down, which was good. I'd much rather just go back up to $30 or so. This is the Life Clip one that I told you guys about, the new one, Largo Resources. And so let me show you this. So on the hedge, what I did is I bought back the $40 contracts that we had sold. We had sold the $40 calls for $1, if you remember. I bought those back on average for about 9 cents today to get them all all bought back, 9-10 cents. So we made 90 cents. So that was a nice trade. So on 60,000, we made about $55,000 profit. So that was a great trade. And then since CCIV doesn't look like it's going to be at $40 this week, I came down to the 32.50s and we sold those for 40 cents. So basically we're picking up another 30 cents, 32 cents, 33 cents a contract. So on 600 contracts. So basically we made that 55,000, and this will make us, well, two things. It'll make us another $18,000. If CCIV is above 32.50 on Friday, we would get called out. If CCIV was, we have 100,000 shares of CCIV right now. If it is above 32.50, that would be about another 450,000 back on this. I would probably be happy if we could sell 100,000 shares, or I mean, I'm going to sell some, you know, if it's up tomorrow or what we do. But if we got called out at 32.50, I wouldn't be sad right now. I'd be happy to move on and, you know, get $400,000 or $500,000 back. So, but nevertheless, if we don't get called out, that's why we want to hedge it and, you know, bring the average cost down, or, you know, at least we're getting some. At least we made $55,000 this week on something with it. It all just goes towards the bottom line, you know. But you're going to have these fluctuations of large numbers when you have a stock that's moving up and down daily, a point or two here and there. You're going to have large numbers. So that's what we got going on there. In other news today, obviously the market's down. Futures are looking up. I'm sure now that the market crashed today, it'll come up tomorrow, or we'll have a little bounce back. Also interesting is Texas, Mississippi, and I think Tennessee. The governors have lifted all restrictions, all mask restrictions, and all business restrictions. Basically said back to normal, business like normal. So this is going to be interesting. I mean, we're going to have, and I think this is all over the news today. We're going to have a strong, you know, first quarter, second quarter. I mean, and now, you know, the big talk is why do we want to give out this $1.9 trillion in stimulus if business is booming? Obviously, the businesses that are going to have problems and won't be booming is going to be real estate. Well, real estate's booming, but I'm saying you still have a lot. You have millions of people who still haven't paid rent, who are living on these rent moratoriums that they got to do something with, that they haven't figured out what to do anything on today. And you also have all the people, you know, businesses, you know, like hospitality ones, bars, restaurants that, you know, haven't really been opened. And, you know, obviously that's great for those states, but you still have other states where the restrictions are still pretty strong. So another one, so let's talk about this one. So big in the news today is the RKT, which is a Rocket Mortgage. So this one is also, this one was kind of like the next GameStop one with the big squeeze. And just like with GameStop now, E-Trade, Schwab, and all the mortgage houses have restricted margin requirements. So they went from a 30% margin requirement to a 70%, and now they're doing a 100% margin requirement. So they're basically giving everyone margin calls, liquidating accounts. So basically like where we made all that money on CCIV with all those puts and stuff, they've basically done the same thing with this one where you can't do that any longer. So it's definitely hurting, you know, people's leverage and stuff. Also, this is the same thing. You know, I mean, obviously this one was shorted way down, but when you look at the charts, you know, it's the same play. You know, that this thing's not worth, you know, at $40. Is it worth the 20? Yeah. Looks like this one's been 20s, you know, and bounces around there. You know, here's a 3-month chart. If you look at the year-to-date chart on this thing, you know, it's been as high as $20. It's sat around this forever. I don't think this stock's going to be worth $43. But you know, if the Wall Street bets people think that they can get this short squeeze, but at the end of the day, the market makers are going to keep manipulating it, and they're going to keep changing it so that you can't win. So this is just like GameStop. You know, and you know, look at GameStop where it's been. Look at GameStop last week; it hit $190 and came all the way back down to $98. And you know, today it's last time I checked, it was like I don't know, 110, 120 today. It was up and then, you know, down again, or 118 now. So, like I said, these are moving. You know, and if you look at the charts. And these are, you know, ones you could also day trade and stuff. I like CCIV because it's a little bit more stable now, and if you can catch it for a point or two. But you know, you could do it with all these. You know, today just, you know, like any day, GameStop was up to 130 and it was all the way down to 114, or actually 112. I mean, these are big spreads, you know, for a business. But I mean, they're not trading on any fundamentals. They're just trading on market makers, who's shorting it. And these people with the shorts are smart. They're just going to let everybody buy this thing up, let it run, and then they're just going to come in and hammer and short it all the way down again. And everybody panics because the people who bought it at the higher ends see it coming down. So what's the first thing you do when you see your stock that you own at $160, $170 coming down? You panic and you sell. Or the shorts are doing the same thing that the people buying the stocks are doing. They're trying to think that you have to remember that the people who own the stock, when these stocks come down, they're going to panic and they're going to sell. The hedge funds, the people who are shorting these stocks, who are the real players in the marketplace, they don't care about 5 or 10 points. They don't care if they're down $500 million or $1 billion, because they've been through this. They will wait it out. They'll let it go up a little bit more, and then they'll short another $1 billion of stock, and they'll short another $1 billion of stock. And then if that doesn't work, they call daddy up at Citadel or Melvin, some larger firm, and then they call up all the brokerage firms, and then they just change the requirements and just do whatever they need to get it where they want it. So long term, we're not going to win against these companies. The only companies that we have a chance to beat are companies that are actually trading stocks that are based on fundamentals and actual intelligence into the stock price. But yeah, these short squeezes, they're very limited. And I mean, it's like GameStop. It's like it's time to move on. The RTK, here, if you made your money on it, I would get the hell out. Yeah, sure. Tomorrow, could this thing be $50, $60? Yes. And could this thing be back to, $25, $30 next week? Yes. Probably better odds to have it back at $30, $20, $30 a share than there is to this thing to be $100, because there's no underlying value to the business. And that's what people don't understand. GameStop at, $15, $20 a share was still overvalued. GameStop at $118 a share is 5 times overvalued. Even if you said, well, GameStop's going to have something big, they're going to do something new in the future, nobody knows what it is they're going to do. They're going to become a digital marketplace, for buying games or this or that. Well, you already have all those platforms out there. We don't need another platform. GameStop is, unfortunately, too little, too late to the party. Doesn't matter who you bring on board. Do you think if a casino announced that they were bringing me on board, the Raja, that their stock would, shoot up 5 times? No. One person can't influence a business. Unless GameStop is, bringing on Kim Kardashian and, she's making a special game that only they're going to have access to and all the revenue goes there or something crazy like that, maybe. But it doesn't matter. People don't understand. One person can help a business, but that's maybe 5 or 10% increase, And the other thing is it takes a long time to enable and do stuff in a business. So even if one person comes on and says, I'm here, hey, it's me, the greatest name in the world, it takes time to produce your new product, it changes. You have 1,000 stores or however many stores they have out there, 500 stores, I don't know. You have to remodel them all. Their stores are all ran down. They look like hell. Somebody's going to need to put a lot of money into a facelift if they're going to change their whole business model or whatever it is they're going to do. And if they're just going to close all their stores and pivot to an online business, well, then it's basically like a whole new business anyways. So I don't even know what the point of all the stores are. Like, you guys have to really think these things through. Large companies can move fairly fast, but they can only move so fast. And you still have to depend on a lot of people. And the other thing is nobody's floated the idea of what it is they're going to do. So definitely will be interesting to see how it does. And, definitely look at that and stuff. So Cal says, this is very nice. Why go live when your boy BOD is live? It's so disrespectful. Just kidding. No. So obviously we do our show every day around 4:30, and Brian, he has such a large pot, so we always wish him the best of luck. And a lot of people multitask. They have 2 devices, Cal, so you can watch both at the same time. So you can watch him hitting the slots, and you can listen in to me. But now we're here in Vegas, guys. So I'm at the penthouse in the Cosmo. This is our final day here in Vegas, and we're celebrating 300,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So we're about 100 subscribers away from hitting that. Hopefully you're here pretty soon. Bitcoin prices back down a little bit today. This is interesting. I've been talking to some people. So, some people think Bitcoin is going to come back strong. Some people think Bitcoin is going to come all the way down. This is going to be interesting. I think this is going to really weigh heavily on Tesla's financials in this quarter. If at the end of the quarter, Bitcoin is below $40,000, if Tesla hasn't already come way down, it is going to tank, because they're going to look like fools if their Bitcoin investment has no profit. If Bitcoin at the end of the quarter is 55,000, 58,000 again, I would probably buy Tesla like no other, because when they report earnings, they're going to say, oh, we had Bitcoin at the end of the quarter made us $1 billion. But if they report at the end of the quarter that they bought Bitcoin and they've lost money on it, and it takes their overall profits into a negative, this could be a real serious problem for businesses. And I don't know if businesses have really thought that through. They say they may want to own Bitcoin or they want to do this and that. Bitcoin isn't really a smart investment for a big company worth billions and billions of dollars to diversify in, to have as a holding. It's not gold, it's not silver, it's not actual, it's an imaginary asset that, honestly, multi-billion-dollar businesses probably shouldn't be trying to fiddle with. If they want to accept it, that's great. Accept Bitcoin. Let somebody buy a car with Bitcoin and then just immediately sell it off. Because how do you sell, if you're selling your car today and you're selling, your $100,000 Tesla, and Bitcoin is $20,000, for $40,000 a share. So somebody gives you 2.5 Bitcoin, and at the end, an hour from now, it's dropped $4,000, or $1,000 a coin even. You just lost 2.5% of your profit if it drops $1,000. Now there's the flip side. If it went up $1,000, sure, you made an extra 2.5%, but it just fluctuates too much. You can't have a currency that moves the way Bitcoin does and be able to use it in a business. So Thomas Matthew says, what do you think about CCIV? So obviously I'm into this one heavily. I have 100,000 shares of it right now in my account. So watching it very closely and day trading. Hopefully tomorrow will be up another, it comes back a little bit, a point or two in this trading range here. We'll flip it, make a little money on the stock. But I am looking to make a move either this Friday or next Friday to be fully out of CCIV. So depending on where CCIV is, I will either do something this Friday, just be done with it and move our money into something that's going to, make us 100, 200,000 next week, like Apple again. Or I may wait it out one more week and hedge it and sell like the 32s, or, see where it's at and just sell something for like $2 or $3 for a couple 100,000, hope to get called out and not care what happens at the end of the week. So let's play it by ear. I'm going to watch it closely. It seems like there's a lot of resistance around this 27, 28. Everybody says it should be somewhere between 27 and $35. I think there's definitely a lot of support around 20 or 24. But I would also hate to have to ride this out, 7 or 8 more points down. That's not really what I'm looking to do. So I'm gonna do something with this stock this week. If here's the thing, if the markets are up tomorrow, have a strong day, electric vehicles are popular again, it's going to be up. If everyone's talking about something else, it's going to be down. Opening trades, now that all these governors are, lifting restrictions and stuff, all these opening trades are going to be, what people are looking at and stuff. That's going to be where all the, people are looking at that. Just, obviously if everybody lifts restrictions, it basically means every single business can reopen. So for example, somebody just said, what about the talk about AMC? Well, obviously, if you lift all the restrictions, AMC and a lot of these, are going to go up. I think a lot of this talk with AMC is still a dead business. Even with restrictions lifted, I think that's terrific. But AMC is a. So there's any news to say, but unfortunately for AMC is that the movies now have realized that they can go on their own platforms to distribute the movies. And that's what they're going to be doing. If they distribute the movies on their own platforms, they don't need the movie theaters, and the movie theaters aren't going to make any money if nobody goes to the theaters to watch the movies. Obviously, you need to go to the theater, and buy tickets. And now if you can watch this stuff at home, or we just give it to you for free on HBO Max, that, or some of these different channels. So it'll be interesting. I think AMC is going to have a tough road. I think if AMC, theaters were how they were, 25, 30 years ago, where it was like, 3 or 4 theaters, they'll probably survive. But I don't think there's going to be 24, AMC by my house is 24. There's an 18-plex. I don't know if there's going to be 24, 18 movies out there that people need all those theater space for. And you still have, even, with restrictions lifted and different things, people are still going to be in fear. You still have a lot of people who don't have the shots. Like I said, the good news is COVID's finally coming down, getting under control. We'll get our economy hopefully back to normal, get people back to normal. But you still have a lot of jobs to fill. And it's still very interesting. A lot of these businesses realized they had a lot of people that they didn't need. When you're making a lot of money and you own a business, and I own several businesses, you start hiring people, and this happened to me in 2007, 2008, when I was doing 100 million plus a year in revenue on doing ringtones and my online advertising business. When you have all that money coming in, you just start hiring people. And you don't realize it. And then you have to start. Then once you hire all these people, you start hiring people to manage these people just because you have so many people. So I'll give you an example. If you have 10 people, and it's a small company, it's kind of like that's your business. Well, all of a sudden you have 20 or 30 people, then you need a human resource person to help you start hiring these people. Then you have a person who's in charge of your travel. Then you have a person who's in charge of your daily stuff. Then all of a sudden I have snacks in my kitchen. So now I have a person who has to order lunch every day for all my staff because I'm feeding 50, 100 people in my office. Then somebody has to do this, do that. Then I have a compliance team to make sure that all my affiliates that were running ringtones at the time were all doing it correctly. So I have one person. Then I need two people. Well, then my compliance team became sales prevention, actually, because they want to hold on to their jobs. So they just don't want to approve anything, basically, because they want to look like heroes or that they're the greatest. Well, then it's causing all them problems. Then my affiliates can't run anything. So we call them sales prevention. Now they're hurting my revenue. But then you need somebody to supervise those 2 or 3 people in the sales prevention team. So then you have a sales prevention leader or compliance leader or stuff. Then you have an attorney, and before you know it, you have 3. Like a lot of businesses, when you do all that money, you just start hiring all these people. And then it's interesting. Then when all these people start leaving, or they say, somebody resigns, you don't replace that position. You're like, what did that person even do? And you'd be surprised how many businesses have that. Well, even like in this casinos, it's very interesting. I said, why do you guys seem really busy? Why don't you have these other restaurants open? Because we don't need them. We're making just as much money without them open. We're maximizing our profit potential, and everybody will just eat in the ones that are open today. So it's interesting. Some places were way overbuilt. They were built to, attract, people in different demographics and stuff. And it's very interesting how things can change so fast when, markets turn and everything like that. So, it's very interesting. Like I said, businesses, it's going to come back fast, and it looks really good and stuff. So Raja, let's see. Rupan, Raja, Ford and Neo look good for option play. It's oversold. It may drop another point or two. It's even a better play. Definitely, the automakers, but, the economy comes back strong. Autos are going to do good. The cruise lines are going to be big. Travel. This is the first flight actually coming to Vegas. This was the first flight I've been on when it was actually about 85% full, where I actually had somebody in the middle seat next to me. So travel's going up. Everybody's, doing, their stuff. Woofs, what do you think about Coinbase going public? Probably be a great IPO. Coinbase has to be making so much money because all they do is charge you crazy fees and take huge margins on the spread. So I don't see how Coinbase could be a losing proposition. So let's see here. So it says, Thomas, CCIV can be good for the long hold. CCIV can be good for the long hold. Unfortunately for me, I'm not looking for stuff that's good for the long hold. I'm looking for high returns and to make, 200-300% on my money in a year's time. And hopefully to God, Schwab and E-Trades and all these people don't just keep changing margin requirements nonstop, where we don't have the leverage we used to have to be able to make that kind of money. But yeah, CCIV, I think, is going to be a great stock for the long term. Once it merges with Lucid and does all that. But I'm not looking to own 100,000 shares of CCIV for 2024 to be selling them for $60 a share. Yes, that would be a great return on investment, but I'm not looking for that ride with them. So let's see. So a couple other. Do you hold any long-term positions? I do have some stuff. Obviously my 401k has a lot of long-term positions, and I do have a lot of Apple and some stuff I like. I have some dividend stocks, but overall, I'm not a big long-term player and stuff. So. Brandon, what's up with CCIV? I own it at 36. What should I do? So one is I would hedge it. Like I've showed you guys, sell, go out next week and sell the $36 strike price. Let me show you this. So for next week, if you go out, pull up our chain. So if you own it at $36, and this is what I did this week. Obviously, if I knew CCIV wasn't going to go up at all, I would have sold the 32s when it was $3, and we could have really made some serious money this week off of it instead of 60,000. But if you go out like next week, let's say, and you own it at $36. So we'll expand. All right. So you own CCIV at $36. So one thing you're going to do to hedge it for next week is a $36 call. You can sell the call if you have 100 shares of it at least. You could sell the call for 63 cents. So that at least takes your cost down to 63 cents. I mean, it takes it down by 63 cents. So then you own the stock now at $35.57 instead, or 37 cents. So, and that's what I did when I sold those dollar contracts. And I showed you guys today how I rolled them down another dollar. I mean, I rolled them down 7 points, but I got another 40 cents out of them. So also, you know, you can look at, you know, something more aggressive. Like I said, I'm going to do. But right now, the premiums, this is what I don't see a lot of movement to the upside in CCIV or the downside, because if you look at the pricing, this isn't very aggressive any longer. So even like the stock I bought today, I was looking at if I wanted to for like this week, for example, you know, just to buy the stock if you think it's going to sit around here. So I just bought, you know, 40,000 shares of it at an average cost of $28.90 today. $28.95 is what I own those 40,000 new shares for. So I was looking, I could sell the 29s for this Friday for $1. If it's above $29 on Friday, I'll make 40,000 shares. I'll make an extra nickel, so $2,000 plus I get $1.04. That basically would be a $40,000 profit for me. So if the stock comes up another point, I pick up 40,000 more, which I'm down in it right now. And if I, you know, get that dollar, I could also, you know, move it to the 30s. You know, if I think it'll come up, I could pick up 40,000 more between 29 and 30. Plus, I get another 80 cents for another 32. So I can make $70,000 on that trade in the next 3 days if it, you know, is above 30 by Friday. So these are some different things that, you know, I'm looking at. You know, if you want to go out 10 days, you know, and think it's going to be pretty stable, this isn't bad money here. If you went out 10 days and you bought the stock and you're in the stock at like $29 and you write the $1.79 and you do the math on it. So let's say you buy the stock for let's say you buy 100 contracts for $2,900, or excuse me, 100 shares of stock for $29 a share. That's going to cost you $2,900. If you sell the contract for $1.92, you get $192 back on $2,900. That's about a 7-8% return. So if you wanted to wait 10 days until, you know, a week from this Friday, you could, and the stock stays above this or stays in this $28, $29 range, you could have a decent return on investment. If the stock goes to $30, doesn't really matter. You get called out, you made your money. If the stock drops, you are into the stock at $27 a share instead of $29 a share if you paid $29. If you bought it, I guess hypothetically right now with the stock at 28, you know, or 27.75, if you bought it, you know, right now and you sold at 28, you could make it even a better return. So these are some different moves that you can do to hedge it and just put it out there. It, you know, just depends on what you're looking to do and what kind of returns on investment that you're looking for and stuff. So red slots, most of my positions are long term. I try to stay away from high flyers. I'm not getting rich overnight, but yet I'm not going broke either. Just nice steady climb up. Yeah, everybody has a different you know, philosophy in what they do and stuff. Brad says, what app does Raj use to buy and sell Bitcoin? I've just been doing it with Coinbase. Nothing too special. We're not buying tons of it and stuff. So just depends on, like I said, what your strategy is. And, you know, but in the market, just whatever your strategy is, play smart, watch what you're doing and stuff. Be careful of these high flyers like, you know, the Rocket Mortgage today and stuff. These things, as fast as they go up, is as fast as they can come down. You know, look here, after hours already. You know, it's already back down, you know, a couple of, you know, 1.5. You know, it's just like GameStop. This thing's going to move. And, you know, and like I said, the brokerage firms have already started adjusting what they're doing with these stocks. And that's going to hurt them. You know, if the brokerage firms don't want to play nicely and, you know, want to listen to Citadel and the big market makers and everybody else, it's going to get rough. So, but hey, guys, tonight on my big jackpot channel, celebrating 300,000 subscribers. Also, big shout out to all my Patreon members watching live. If you guys want my trades in real time as I make them, welcome to join our Patreon group. Just go to patreon.com/RajSupply. Raja Makes Money. And we also have a private Facebook group where people are chatting and all sorts of stuff. You got Kenny from the research team in there. He's helping people. If you guys have questions, you can always reach out to Kenny for help. But that's what I got for you guys. I got a big show tonight. Brian Denver, he's live right now if you guys want a slot fixed earlier than tonight. And I will see all of you guys back in Colorado tomorrow for the recap show. So, hey, let's hope all my money makers tomorrow and the Raja can make some money in this freaking market again. Let's get this thing back up. I'll see you guys tonight on the Big Jackpot or tomorrow for Raja Makes Money. Take care, guys, and have a great rest of your night.